Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soul Shift Saturdays. I'm Kat Sticker, and I'm the host of Soul Shift Saturdays. And it is now the month of November. We're going into November. This is the month that normally people focus on being grateful. And so we're going to talk today about expressing gratitude. Perhaps many of you are doing a 30-day gratitude challenge. That's usually popular in November due to the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving. But we can express gratitude throughout the year, and we should. We should express gratitude every day for what we have. But let's talk a little bit today about what we mean by expressing gratitude and why that's important. First of all, gratitude is one of the Power Vibe methods to raise your vibration. And when we do that, when we express gratitude, it's making our, not only our body, but our mind, our soul, all parts of us vibrate at a higher level. And that's why people say when you're depressed, you should try being grateful for what you have. It's not just a state of mind, it's a physical vibration of your body that raises up when you express gratitude. But it's more than just feeling the gratitude internally that's helpful. I mean, it helps to feel it and just say, think to yourself, what all am I grateful for? This, that, and the other. But when we express gratitude, when we tell other people thank you, when we give back as part of our gratitude, we're so grateful that we're giving back. That really exponentially takes it to the next level. And so I would like to hear about some of the ways that you all may express gratitude. Or first of all, what are you grateful for? And then secondly, what are some ways that you express gratitude? Is it in words, like you make sure you tell your spouse thank you, or your children, expressing gratitude to your children? Is it giving little gifts to people as a way of saying thank you? Is it doing favors for people, like honoring what they did? Is it praying for them, or putting something on your altar to express your gratitude? Like, what do you do in your practice to show your gratitude? Now, I do kind of all of the above of those things. And that's why I'm asking you, like, what all do you do? Those are things I do. And whenever I do, I notice that my heart fills up with love and appreciation. And I don't focus as much on the things that I don't have. So let me tell you about some things that I'm grateful for from this year. Of course, I am really always grateful for my wonderful family. And I have the best husband. I have the best kids. I just appreciate all of their thoughtfulness, their respect and politeness. I mean, kids aren't always polite, let's be honest, but when it comes down to it, it could be a lot worse, right? They're really good kids, and they're helpful, and I'm appreciative that they are healthy. I'm appreciative that we have not experienced a lot of sickness, death, and things like that in our family. I'm grateful that we've experienced wealth and abundance with, I was able to, first of all, I never lost my job. I made a a voluntary decision to leave my job for another job that started like right away. So I didn't even have any downtime on my job, and I got a job that I really love. I'm grateful to have all the opportunities that I have to express myself on this social media group. I'm grateful for everyone in this group, the people who are tuning in. I mean, hi Sharon, I'm so glad you could join. So I have so many things. I mean, I could just go on all night about everything I'm grateful for and how everything's gone right for me. But I want to hear about you and some of the things that you guys are grateful for, and then how you express that back to people. So I try to do something special for people once in a while. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to do things all the time, but every once in a while, you know, for this group, for instance, I do put a lot of materials into the website that are free. I don't charge for everything that I do. And I try to do things like call my mother a lot, send her a lot of little gifts and things just to express my gratitude to her. And it makes me feel good when I thank other people. And it's that expression, it's that reaching out that makes you feel so good. So I encourage people to do that. Also, I had something else to share with you today. I've been talking for a long time about the pumpkin wisdom, the wisdom from the pumpkin seed. I've been showing people my pumpkin plant all year. It started this spring, early in the spring. A little plant started growing in my garden, and I thought it was a weed at first, and I almost pulled it, but I decided to use my app that identifies plants because it didn't really look like a weed. It looked big, like a weird looking leaf. It looked sort of like a squash. And I was like, well, I didn't plant any vegetables, so it couldn't be a squash. Let me see what it is. And also, I always do that with weeds to make sure they're not some kind of really good medicinal weed that I could use. And it said it was a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern type pumpkin. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So everybody's like so excited. We have this little pumpkin in our garden. The wind blew this pumpkin seed in there, and it started growing, got these huge leaves, and it started trailing, and it just started taking off. Well, it grew huge, and it went all the way around our yard. And it's still growing. It's still out there going. It never has produced a pumpkin, but you know what? I didn't really care. Just the beauty of the leaves and the beautiful yellow flowers. Every day that it's been in existence, it's had these beautiful yellow flowers all year. And I can tell that it's starting to fade out. Like, it's getting smaller. The leaves don't look that healthy anymore. It's getting to be towards the end of its cycle. But as the year has gone on, all these months, I would say it's been going for at least 9 months. I learned some things along the way from this pumpkin plant. I know it was blown in by the wind to give me some intuitive advice. And so I want to share that. I'm not sure if I have that open though. Let's see. I'm going to have to open that file. Pumpkin wisdom. There we go. And then I'm going to share my screen because I made a little Canva out of it. Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right, so hopefully you can see this. Life lessons from a pumpkin seed. The wind can blow in unexpected gifts Now that's what I just said. The wind blew in this pumpkin seed from who knows where, probably from the last Halloween. But it wasn't purposefully planted in the garden bed. The second one is take care before weeding your garden. Some weeds have value. So sometimes if you look up a weed, it turns out it's like a good weed, not something you want to throw out, but actually has some medicinal value to it. And so don't just assume that a weed in your garden is bad. Now, these are metaphors for things in your life. Just because something in your life may seem like it's undesirable, take another look and see what it has to teach you or what gift it has for you before you just weed it out. You may be holding on to roots that are dead and no longer serve you. It's okay to let go. You're going to form new roots. Now, what happened was, as this pumpkin plant moved along, started growing along, it didn't have leaves the whole way. The leaves kind of went with it. So it would have like a swash of leaves about, 3 or 4 feet long of leaves on the vine. And then the beginning of the vine, the leaves all died. Well, I thought that the vine coming out of the ground was, it was really thick and everything. I was really careful to preserve that part so it didn't get cut off, or mowed over, so that it would not die. Well, then eventually I realized that wasn't even connected anymore to that plant. It was moving around. It didn't need that original vine. It didn't need the original roots that were in the ground. It was creating new ones as it went. And the same for you. If you're holding on to roots from the past that are no longer serving you, that's just a waste of time. Focus on the new roots that you're laying down. Put your energy into that. Grow in the direction you're called. So that pumpkin knew where it was going. It was going towards the sunnier spot. And then it kind of just started, it tried to go it grew all the way across the yard. It tried to go up the fence. I was like, no, you got to go this other way. But it kind of circled around. It wanted to be in the sun. You'll know what direction you're called to go and go that way. And you can go further than you ever imagined. Who would have thought this little pumpkin seed would make it all the way across the yard like that in this beautiful, graceful fashion? I never thought it would go that far. I mean, I don't know how far that is, actually. I can't say the exact number of feet, but it's a big yard, so it went a long ways. You can go further than you imagine, and when you hit a wall, just change directions. So every time it hits a tree or a wall or something, it just goes around it. It doesn't keep hitting its vine against the wall. Also, nurturing helps us thrive. It did get pretty hot and dry in the summer, as you can imagine. And I'd go out and give it some water. When we're nurtured, it helps us to, stay going. Be sure to give yourself nurturing. And sometimes the blessing of the harvest is the journey. The fruit of the harvest isn't even necessary. So everybody's like, when are we getting a pumpkin? Well, no pumpkins are growing. I could tell no pumpkins were going to grow on that. The flowers were beautiful, but nothing ever formed anything like fruit on it. So I never really expected the pumpkin to form, but I don't care if it formed. The whole goal wasn't to have the pumpkin. It was just a beautiful vine. It was a miracle vine, and I just appreciated the whole journey of it and the lessons that it brought along the way. Didn't matter about the end product. Sometimes that's not really the goal. Think about that. If you have goals that you're really hard set on and it turns out you're not really going to achieve those, is everything that you did in vain? Or was there value along the way? Did you learn things? Did you grow? Think about it that way. And life is cyclical. So, like I said, this pumpkin vine's fading out. It's not going to make it through the winter. That's okay. That's part of the circle of life, right? It was a seed. It grew up, did its thing, then it's passing away. I've got some more pumpkin seeds I'm going to plant. Maybe next year I'm like going to plant them this time. I want more pumpkins, more pumpkin vines. This was great. It's my favorite plant now is the pumpkin because of this. You may have no idea how much joy, wisdom, beauty, hope, and symbolism you're bringing to others. Now, the pumpkin vine, probably not aware that I'm following it so closely. But think about yourself. If you're not producing what you thought you were, you may feel like you're failing. You may feel like what you're doing is not enough. You may feel like you're not enough. But to others, you may be everything. You may be impacting their lives in such a way you don't even realize. People are watching you, whether it's the little kids, whether it's your neighbor, and how you react to things in life can really bring a lot of value. Think about how much joy, wisdom, beauty, hope, and symbolism that vine brought to our family and to the group. Everyone makes an impact. The more out of place you seem, the more impact you're having. Now, where I planted that, there's a lot of roses, there's some herbs planted in there. And if it was just another chive growing or just another rosemary or another rose, would I have given it that much thought? I mean, the roses are beautiful. They're blooming roses all the time. Do I hang on every rose? No, because it's not out of place. I planted it there. It's supposed to be there. That's what it's supposed to do. This pumpkin came out of nowhere. And so it made like a big impact. Everybody is like, wow, this is incredible. So when you're shaking things up for other people, when you're out of place, I hear people all the time, oh, I don't fit in. I don't belong. I'm out of place. And you think that maybe you think too much inwardly, like being self-conscious about that, where really this is your opportunity to make an impact on others. Because if you're standing out, if you have people's attention, that's your time to shine. The beings of nature take care of one another. I'm a being of nature. I'm helping to nurture the pumpkin. The pumpkin is helping to nurture, some of the little bugs in the garden. Everything in nature works together, and we're all nurturing each other in this cycle. And if it had produced pumpkins and we were eating them, then they'd be nourishing us, right? And we're nourishing each other. Even as you fade away, you can still bloom. So as this pumpkin is ending its cycle, it's still got flowers on it every day. They're beautiful. And just its presence, just the leaves are beautiful. It's still blooming. And so even if you're at the end of your life cycle, you still have a chance to make an impact for others, to bring a smile to someone's face. So do what you can. And that is the pumpkin wisdom. I hope you enjoy. Oh gosh, I have a lot of comments. Let me go to the comments here. Michael says it was so interesting mowing around. I was like, be careful of the pumpkin. I don't want to mow over the pumpkin. So Michael's so this pumpkin, it grew out of the flower bed and now it's on the yard, on the grass, growing all over the place. And I'm trying to route it around the tree, around the altar and stuff like that. And so we're trying not to kill it. That's funny. But that's part of, how we all work together. The pumpkin, it doesn't know we're trying to mow around it and everything, that we're supporting its life. it could have gone the other way. Was strange. There was another one appeared on our fence that did. So sometimes things are like synchronicities, right? And there's a reason that something appeared on your fence unexpectedly. Who said the little toads love it? Is that Michael? Toads love the pumpkin vine. Well, because it has those huge leaves, and we have a lot of frogs and toads around the yard. We get a lot of frogs because it's so wet. It's real tropical here, and our yard gets kind of soggy on the corner over there. But we also get some like dryland toads hopping around too. So yeah, the pumpkin, and I have a representative. Now this is not a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. This is an eating pumpkin, and we're actually going to eat this. So also I have today, this is from last year. This is like a little turkey pine cone that my kids made last year for Thanksgiving. I'll put it out here. We're looking forward to our holiday season coming up. I hope you are too. I'm starting to plan for next year. And I have a lot of good ideas, I think, to do with the group. One thing I'm going to do is the little storefront I have isn't working out that great. So I'm going to change out the vendor on that. It's going to be so much better. I'm going to try to improve the Moonglow Life store. Also, I'm going to launch this Moonglow Hub. It's sort of like a social media. It's a community, but it's not on Facebook or Instagram, not one of the big platforms. It's our own private community. So I'm going to see if I can get some participation there and launch that. And it'll have, similar to this group, a lot of things. I'll try to be more active in it. And now that I have this new job, I'm expecting to have a little bit more free time than I had at my last job. So I'm hoping to be able to work on my own stuff more and be with the people I care about. Oh, the new black and white one. Michael says show the new black and white one. Okay. Whoa, look at this. I think I had this on the last show. This is a ceramic pumpkin that we got on sale at Joann's Fabrics. And gosh, it's just beautiful. I'm not sure how they made it, but I've got this glare on it from the ring light. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's huge. It's huge. Well, I got this. It was kind of symbolic of that pumpkin vine in the yard, and it's good all year. So I'm going to leave it in my office up on top of the bookshelf because that one won't die. And that's all I know about that. Well, I hope that you guys have some good ideas about how you might want to express gratitude this month. Let us know in the Soul Shifters Guild Facebook group. And I love you, and I will talk to you next week.